So this right here is a G-Force e-bike. They hit me up, we're like, hey, you wanna test out this e-bike? Now I took this one on because I recently reviewed the GDS e-bike. That video did pretty well because that bike was good for the money. Turns out GDS e-bike, yeah, they're getting sued right now for copyright infringement. So they were like, take the video down. Our legal staff does not want that on the internet. So anyway, a lot of you guys who watched that video wanted that bike, but you can't get it. And after I had posted the GDS e-bike video, they raised their prices, they did all kinds of sketchy stuff. And the G-Force e-bike was one that caught my eye because for the same price as the GDS e-bike, you get some dang good stuff. This one has an aluminum frame, so it should be a little bit lighter. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty substantial though. It's got a 500 watt motor, 10.4 amp hour battery, which they say does 35 to 50 miles of range. I'm gonna assume that's with pedal assist, but we'll see how it actually performs. So I'm pretty pumped. Let's get this thing unboxed and just see what we're looking at. There she is, the G-Force e-bike. How about that? Now this model right here is the T42, and again, aluminum frame, 500 watt motor, 10.4 amp hour battery. It's got some pretty good components on it. We'll fire up here. Yes sir, yes sir. Looks like we got a full battery already. Okay, I gotta tell you guys right off the bat, this was the easiest e-bike setup in the freaking world. Most of my other bikes, when I get them in the box, you have to assemble the entire thing, like the wheels, the handlebars, even the controls for the handlebars, like everything. This took me legit like 10 minutes to set up, like nothing. Oh, and I will say, they spray foamed this thing. Oh, by the way, CB750 is looking super good. I cannot wait to show you guys the next video on that. But anyway, G-Force sent this thing with spray foam. They surrounded the bike in plastic and then spray foamed all the way around it. There is no damage to the bike. Every other bike I've gotten so far, I think every other bike, yeah, has had at least one thing bent or chipped or something from shipping. But this, they actually did a good job packaging it. So it's just those things, it's just a little attention to details that a lot of other companies miss. You know, in shipping is the biggest potential for getting damage to the bike. And they did a great job. They packaged it the best I've ever seen so far. And I've had a lot of different stuff come to my door. So far, I'm pretty impressed, but it's getting a little dark out here. So probably just gonna have to pick this up on Monday. Probably. I work all day tomorrow and the next day. All right, boys, here she is. This is the first time I'm seeing it in the sunlight, and it looks pretty dang good. I love the matte black, and there's no botched paint job like the KBO e-bike I got. On camera, it may not look all that big, but this is a full-size bike right here. Like, I'm 6'3", and I fit on this thing no problem. Seat, of course, is adjustable. This is a foldable e-bike too, which I freaking love because then you can just throw it in cars and stuff, and you can just take it wherever you want, really. So you can fold the handlebars down if you want to. And you can also fold it in half if you want to, which is super nice. So yeah, all in all, I think these are the most practical e-bikes that you can get, the foldable ones, because you can throw them in a car if you need to. And that actually comes in a lot more handy than you'd expect. Like when I got these cars tinted, I had to throw a, you know, because you have to leave it there for hours and sometimes you don't always have a ride, or it's easier just not to find a ride. So you can just throw it in a car's trunk. You can drop your car off wherever you need it to get serviced at, and you just ride an e-bike home. And it makes it so much easier. And if it's not foldable, you can't fit it in a car. And the G-Force specifically actually has puncture resistant tires, what they say. So it has a thicker wall, and I believe it has an inner lining around the tube too. So it's puncture resistant, and they look great. It has all the stuff you'd expect on a nice e-bike. You have the lock for the suspension, and you have the adjustable the adjustable dampening and whatnot for the suspension as well. Rear end is a hardtail. I don't mind that, but you really do just want the front suspension. Honestly, that makes all the difference. You don't really even notice the rear end not having suspension. It's when you're riding it and your hands are jiggling the whole time because there's no suspension. That's why you want the front suspension for sure. So I'm sure they were just cutting costs to keep this thing with a good powertrain at a fairly affordable price, you know? But that's enough talk. Let's get the helmet camera. Let's get you guys on a ride, show you guys what it's like riding on one of these things, and get you guys a top speed and my first impressions on a first extended ride. Let's do it. All right, first real ride of the G-Force e-bike. Before we start again, it's an aluminum frame. It's got the hydraulic brakes. It's got a 500 watt motor. It's a 10.4 amp hour battery. That's the specs that they have listed. And apparently this bad boy should go for about 35 miles. That's what they say, but again, I'm assuming that's on pedal assist, which you can change right here, by the way. And then this turns on your headlight, and then this changes your trip, odometer, max speed, average speed, amp hours used. And so that's pretty much it. This is the first legit test ride on it, so let's give it a go. Okay, so the speed is limited by the pedal assist. I do have my phone with me, so we can actually grab a GPS reading on this as well. So if you put it on pedal assist 3, it's different power levels for the motor on throttle only. So if you're on pedal assist 1, you probably get like 70% throttle. And then 2, probably like 85, and then 100 for 3. This thing's quick. Holy crap, for a 500 watt motor? Are you serious? It says we're going 29 miles per hour. I'm gonna assume, I don't know. I can't tell really. It's quick. I'm just gonna settle this once and for all. I'm gonna pull out my phone and just do a speedometer app test. This thing is freaking quick though. Brake's pretty good too, not bad, not bad. All right, waiting for GPS signal. Looks like we got it. I'm gonna go ahead and reset everything. All right, looks like we are at a max speed of 1.1 as I'm whipping it around. All right, let's do it. All right, I don't feel a hard cutoff like a limiter, so I don't think it's limited at all. It says we're going 30.1 miles per hour. Now, don't hate me, I'm gonna blow through the stop sign. Nobody cares, it's my neighborhood. There's no one here. It's topping out on the speedometer at least about 30 miles per hour is what it said. Let's, this will tell all. Let's pull out the phone. Holy crap, it's actually doing 27 miles per hour. What? I cannot believe this thing is actually doing 27 miles per hour. So as long as the battery life is similar to what the specs they gave me are, this thing is a dang impressive machine for the price you're paying for it, $1,400. That's incredible. And I know that's still a lot of money, but you're talking e-bikes. They range the cheapest, the cheap of the cheap ones are like $700. And the super expensive ones can go up to like $5 grand or so. So I mean, this is still a budget e-bike, but it's outperforming a lot of the more expensive ones I have. That's crazy. All right, with that done, I am gonna take this bad boy on to probably the coffee trail that I always do, just a bike trail around my town. I'm gonna see how many miles I can get out of it. You guys can see we are in a full battery, so we'll see how many miles I get. And if it's impressive, I will be impressed. If it's not impressive, I will not be impressed. So I won't show too much of that, but we'll just catch you guys later when I do. I just made it back home and we got 19.1 miles on the odometer. And again, that was one charge. I did ride until it cutted out. This bike does have the software that I like. When it does cut out, if you're on the road and you're barely getting home with this thing on any kind of a charge, if it does cut out, it keeps pushing you as it can. It doesn't like hard cut off and then just stops working. So that mile count is actually it's pretty normal for an e-bike of this price range, but I will say that is extremely impressive because I was doing almost 27 miles the entire way, which is much faster than other e-bikes getting the similar mileage, 19 or 20 miles per charge. So for $1,400, I honestly don't think there is a better, I don't know, I haven't seen a whole lot of $1,400 e-bikes like this, but the specs I'm getting on this thing are so good for the price. Like 27 miles per hour, for example, that Cafe Racer e-bike I reviewed that one time, did about 27, 28 miles per hour. And that one was like a 2000 watt, I think, 1600 watt mid-drive motor that was all blinged out. He was selling it for like $4,000 or something. This one's $1,400 and it was doing the same speed. I don't know, man, for $1,400 right now, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. Alright, so that's the G-Force e-bike. How about that? So yeah, for $1,400, I would say this is definitely a good value for the money and the specs and the top speed and all that. So yeah, I think this is a good replacement to the GDS e-bike that I reviewed earlier that is no longer available. So this is a great replacement in my opinion. It's good looking, it's fast, it goes the average amount for any good e-bike goes. So I think this is a great value for what you guys are getting. So check it out if you're interested. I think they do actually have USA stock as well, so it comes pretty quickly, I believe. At least mine did. So that's pretty much it. If you're interested, just check it out. Catch you guys next time.